everybody, my name is Matana Williams and I'm the valedictorian for the Wesley Christian class of 2019-2020. I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching and supporting us in this crazy time, and thank you to my school for making sure that we do get our recognition. Because you never think the last time is the last time. You think there will be more. You think you have forever, but you don't. In middle school, I had no clue what Meredith Grey meant when I heard her say this in an episode of Grey's Anatomy. I mean, how could you not know? Here we are as the class of 2020, and I finally understand. When I was curling my hair a year ago for prom, I remember thinking, I wonder what I'll look like next year. I had those senior thoughts quite often, even in elementary school, wondering if I'd cry, who I'd be with, how I'd feel. You have so many questions and you just can't wait to get the answers. I never expected to be sitting in class as usual on a Monday in March and feeling my heart break in the arms of my classmates the Friday of the same week. I'm sure we've all said, I can't do school today. And everyone here knows the three of us have been guilty of taking a few days off. I think I can speak for each of us when I say that I would do anything to have another day. To come to school on those days that I missed because our time as seniors was cut so short. Wesley Christian is my home. From day one, these people have been and always will be my family. I came to Wesley at a dark time, and I was at an all-time low, wondering if I'd even see senior year. Here I am, a graduate, and I can say wholeheartedly that Wesley has given me more in 2 years than what another gave me in 5 years. Wesley is not about the classes or the social status or your grades. It's about the friendships and the love that you are surrounded by every single day. The staff here made me finally realize that my worth is not determined by a number on paper. I find my worth in Christ in the way I give and receive love. Miss Kay and Pastor Ken have done an amazing job, not only with the school but with chapel. It became something I look forward to every week, singing of God's love in a place where I truly felt love, and it's something that I will miss dearly. As far as faculty and staff, I could not ask for any better. I think I'd take them with me if I could. Of course, I can't go on without saying thank you to everyone who makes Wesley the place I call home. Specifically, thank you to Miss Kidd for believing in me so fiercely and motivating me to love like Jesus. To Miss Curry, who keeps me on my toes. You remind me of my worth in relationships and in school. And I always knew that your office was a safe place when I just needed to get it all out. To Kelly, Pam, and Ashley for always feeling like family and always making me laugh. And of course, to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Wagner. Not only is he the only math teacher I have ever understood, he is the only one who consistently built me up instead of tearing me down. The laughs from your classroom are some of the best memories that I've made, and I will always be thankful. A quote from one of my favorite movies says, I know there are people who say these things don't happen, and there are some people who forget what it's like to be 16 when they turn 17. I know these will all be stories someday, and our pictures will become old photographs. But this one moment, you know you're not a sad story. You were alive. And you stand up and see the lights on the buildings and everything that makes you wonder. And you're listening to that song on that drive with the people you love most in the world. And in that moment, I swear, we are infinite. And to me, that's how Wesley felt, infinite. Each time I walked in to cheer at a ball game, there was so much love, even when the stands were empty. Because truthfully, we didn't need them to be packed. That's what makes us so special. As classmates, the bonds and friendships we have are so much stronger than anything a crowd could provide. We all thrive by seeing each other succeed. There was never a day where I felt alone or left out at Wesley, and the memories I made during school were just as good as the ones I made after. Sophomore year, we rode this cramped bus to Kings Island, and it was 80 degrees out, but the AC only blew out of one hole from the ceiling, so that entire row felt like 40 degrees. Johnny O'Brien was the driver and the best driver you could ask for, and I'm sure he loved hearing us scream in the back of the van, complaining about how cold it was, and watching us shove newspapers in the vents to try and fix the temperature. I bet Miss Reynolds' favorite part was me, Leon, and Maddie being late to the bus because we just couldn't resist going on one last ride. My favorite part, I must say, was hearing Miss Kidd play rock music through her phone at midnight to try and keep us entertained on the ride home. That's just the tip of the iceberg for the good times I had at Wesley, but it's when I knew I made the right choice to become a writer. Throughout these past 2 years, we have made some unique memories. Miss Curry has found snakes, or should I say watch bands, in her desk. Hannah and I have been labeled double trouble, as if the Hannah Montana nickname we got in Pee Wee wasn't enough. Meg and I have had one too many laughs, especially on the volleyball court. And if you know anything about Wesley, you know how our buses love to break down, which leads to late night drives, and this year, a birthday party on a guardrail. I'll never forget my drives with Rico, singing Frank Sinatra around the parking lot, or this year's Kings Island trip with my buddy Keaton, and of course the haunted hayride that almost took Miss Curry out. One of my favorite parts of this year was having my best friend Lamika back at school with me, and getting to play my last season of volleyball with the best team I could have ever asked for. If you couldn't tell, I've made some pretty amazing friends here, lots of them from other countries. They have opened my eyes in so many ways, and they gave me an even bigger push to attend a college where I can study abroad, to learn more, and of course, to reunite with the friends who became family. Although I would not trade them for the world, the goodbyes are without a doubt the worst part, and that was the hardest to accept when school ended early. I almost feel inclined to apologize to the airport workers for all the ugly crying they've seen me do. This being said, I have a lot to say to my people, the friends who changed my life. To my boys, where do I even begin? Rico, one of my closest friends and favorite people. I can already hear the music on our next drive. Savili, my big little brother, always watching out for me even in Russia. Mickey, who met me at 15 and is still by my side watching me grow at 18. I'm confident we'll be in this cycle 20 years from now. My shoulders are crying, both literally and figuratively. I look forward to cheering you on in the future. Zig, you're my conscience in human form, never failing to pick up and reciprocate my energy. You're the best of the best, and I'll ride for you 50 years from now. Erwin, you brought out every ounce of goodness and confidence within me. Somehow you make me believe that everything is attainable, and I'm capable of anything. You were just what I needed, and I carry that with me forever. Of course, to my best friend, my unbiological sister, Lamika, you've kept me going, and you're the yang to my gray, always. In John 13:7, Jesus says, "You don't understand now what I'm doing, but someday you will." I had no clue why God placed me here 2 years ago, but I'm confident now it was to meet these people, who led me closer to Him than ever before, and made the best version of myself. He proves to me daily that distance does not matter, because those who value you will keep in touch, even countries away and years after you've last seen each other, which reminds me to never settle for being undervalued. I don't understand why my senior year was cut so short right now, but I'm confident that someday I will. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I choose to cling to my faith regardless of the situation, and I'm confident God has a plan for each of us, and I can't wait to see where we all go. I have a few more thank you shout-outs that I couldn't leave out. To my mom, for always believing in me, supporting in me, being my biggest fan, and my very best friend day in and day out. To my family for giving me endless love and support. To Keith Smallwood for being the coach I so needed and giving me the confidence I never had in myself. To Kev for pushing me to make it and fulfilling the role he never had to accept. And to Carly for reminding me there's always a next. To each and every one of my classmates, thank you for the laughs and memories that I'll never forget, especially those I was able to share the court with. I believe wholeheartedly that God put me here with each of you because He knew I needed you, and I'm so thankful for the time we spent together. To my graduating class, it's finally our turn. This is our world, and I can't wait for each of us to own it in our own way. An F. Scott Fitzgerald quote I believe we should all take with us. For what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case too early, to be whoever you want to be. There is no time limit. Stop whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it, and I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things that you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of, and if you find that you're not, I hope you have the courage to start over. Class of 2020, I love you guys. God's got us. Let's live a life we're proud of.